Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Easy Speeds and Feeds, and I'm going to show you guys how to dynamic mill. Here's a part. It's got a pocket and it's got holes in the side. And to start this part off, we just want to mill out that pocket and then mill around the part. So we'll set up some stock. It'll be a bounding box. We'll type in let's give this a measure real quick. That's 3 inches, so that's 3 inches. So go 3.25 by 3.25 by 3.5. That seems pretty standard. We'll click on display, click the check, and there's our, we're pretending it's aluminum, that's our little aluminum block we're going to turn into this part. So we'll create a rectangle, type in 3.25 by 3.25, and we're just going to use this as our boundary. So we're just going to face this thing real quick. This is a little bit more straightforward. Grab a tool, half-inch end mill, and we'll call it tool 1, 3 flutes, 100 inches a minute, 7,500 RPM. That's the max our spindle can go. Cut parameters, zigzag, stock to leave on floor, 0. Linking parameters, let's get machine it right to Z0. Okay, that looks good. Next, go to dynamic, machining regions, click on that stock we created. Avoidance regions, let's click on the profile, the outer profile of the part. You can use wireframe or you can just use the solid geometry. I always just create wireframe so I have the option. So we'll just click on the wireframe here. And the depth, we'll go ahead and select a different tool because this other tool needs to have a little bit more length. So it's going to be a neck back half-inch end mill, meaning it's going to have like a cut length of 5/8, and then the shoulder length is going to be 3.25, and the shoulder diameter is going to be smaller than the cutting diameter. So it has more reach. So 1/10 smaller. Call it tool 2. 3 flutes, 50 inches a minute, 7,000 RPM. And we're going to machine it all the way. That's 3.1. Okay, 3.01. Depth cuts, we'll go 1/2 inch because it only has 5/8 of cut. That looks good. So, looks like it didn't really generate it. So what we're going to do is we need to check some things. Go into geometry, we go from outside. It was stay inside, so it was trying to stay inside that boundary for the stock and the outer profile. So we're going to go from the outside of the stock. Step over, that's a little aggressive. We go 30 thou. And now we're doing half-inch step downs, 30 thou step over with that longer half-inch tool. And it's dynamic milling all that out. Okay. So we're just checking tool 1 to see if it'll work for that pocket. And go to dynamic, machining regions. We'll click on the solid, go to tool, click tool 1. No need to use a big long tool if we're just going inch and 400 thou down. We'll change the depth. First we'll change those to absolute. Now we'll select the depth. Entry motion, we'll go 1% angle plunge. And it's going to helix in instead of just plunging straight down. We'll click on stay inside. This will be the opposite of the first one. There we go. It's going to ramp in at a helix, and then it's going to dynamic out, and then ramp in, dynamic out at half-inch step downs. So here's the dynamic mill, the long tool. It's doing it just right. And this one is helixing down, now dynamic milling out. Now it's doing another step down. Okay, we hit the compare, so the green is within tolerance, the blue isn't. And it's kind of just that simple. It's not a real tough toolpath to learn. You just have to make sure you select the right geometry and you're either on the inside or outside. And then just control your step overs or depth cuts. And select the right tools for the job and you'll be good to go. I always verify everything and then use a compare just to make sure we're not cutting anything extra or not cutting enough. So the next video will be all about putting in those side holes, 3+2. And if you want to see the next video, subscribe. We'll see you later. Thanks.